I trust Python more than anything when we need to move fast and scale big. Imagine hearing this from an engineer working inside a platform used by millions, because that is exactly how companies like Instagram, Netflix, and YouTube think when they build their systems. They choose tools that deliver results, and Python is one of those tools that keeps showing up at the center of everything. Now here is the reality. The apps you open every day, the videos you watch, the songs you listen to, and even the recommendations you follow are all powered in some way by Python. And this is not by chance. It is because Python makes building powerful systems simpler, faster, and more reliable than most other options. Let's start with YouTube, a platform handling billions of views every single day. And behind that smooth experience, Python helps in managing data, supporting backend processes, and working with systems that decide what video you should see next, using strong libraries and tools that keep everything running without delay. Then comes Instagram, one of the fastest growing social media platforms ever created, and its growth story is closely connected to Django, a Python framework that allowed developers to build features quickly and handle massive traffic without slowing down. This is why Instagram could scale so fast while keeping everything stable. Now think about Netflix, where every recommendation feels accurate, almost like the platform knows your taste, and that intelligence comes from Python working with data, using libraries like Pandas, NumPy, and SciPy to analyze user behavior and deliver content that keeps you engaged. Spotify follows the same path, using Python to understand what you like to listen to, building smart playlists and recommendations through powerful data pipelines and tools that process millions of interactions every second. Dropbox shows another side of Python, where reliability matters the most because it handles file storage and synchronization for millions of users, and Python is deeply built into its backend, making sure everything works smoothly and securely. Reddit is another example, a platform full of discussions and communities, originally created using Python, proving that even a simple and clean language can support massive traffic and endless user activity. Now look at all these platforms together, and one thing becomes clear: Python is not just popular, it is trusted where performance, speed, and scale really matter, and that is why companies keep choosing it again and again. This is just the starting point, because Python is not limited to these platforms. It is also leading in artificial intelligence, automation, and data science, and everyday new systems are being built using it. So if you're thinking about learning something that actually matters in today's world, something that is already being used at the highest level, then Python is not just an option. It is a smart decision, and the best time to start is not later. It is right now. Now let's move deeper into the tech world, where the biggest names are not just using Python. They are building entire ecosystems on top of it, starting with Google, a company that handles billions of searches every single day, and Python has been one of its core languages from the early days, used in everything from search systems to automation tools and artificial intelligence. And even today, Python plays a strong role in developing and managing large-scale applications, especially in areas like machine learning, where frameworks like TensorFlow, created by Google, allow developers to build smart systems that can learn and improve over time. Then comes Facebook, now known as Meta, a platform connecting billions of users worldwide. And behind this massive network, Python is used for backend services, automation, and data analysis, helping engineers manage huge amounts of information and keep the system efficient, and Python simplicity allows teams to build and test features quickly, which is critical at such a large scale. Amazon is another giant where Python plays a key role, not just in backend development, but also in cloud computing through AWS, where developers use Python to automate tasks, manage servers, and build scalable applications. And with tools like Boto 3, a Python library for AWS, it becomes even easier to control cloud services, making Python a powerful choice for anyone interested in cloud technology. Uber also uses Python to handle data processing and backend services, especially when dealing with real-time data like ride requests and route optimization, showing how Python can work in fast-moving environments where every second matters. Now step into the world of artificial intelligence, where Python is almost everywhere. And this is where it becomes even more exciting, because tools like TensorFlow and PyTorch have made Python the first choice for building AI models, whether it is image recognition, speech processing, or recommendation systems. And these frameworks are supported by powerful libraries like NumPy for numerical computing, Pandas for data handling, and Matplotlib for visualization, creating a complete environment where developers can turn data into intelligent systems. OpenAI is also part of this space, using Python extensively to develop advanced AI models, showing how far this language can go when combined with the right ideas and tools. In data science, platforms like Jupyter Notebook have become essential, allowing developers and analysts to write code, visualize data, and share insights in one place, all powered by Python, making it easier to experiment and learn. What makes Python stand out in all these cases is not just its power, but how easy it is to understand and use, which means developers can focus more on solving problems instead of struggling with complex syntax. And this is one of the main reasons why companies prefer it when building new systems or improving existing ones. Now, if you connect everything we have discussed so far, from Google and Facebook to Amazon and AI platforms, one thing becomes very clear: Python is not limited to one field. It is everywhere in web development, in cloud computing, in artificial intelligence, and in data science. And this wide usage makes it one of the most valuable skills you can learn today. And the best part is that all these tools, frameworks, and libraries are available to you. You can start learning them step by step, building your own projects, and slowly moving towards the same technologies used by top companies. And this is where the real opportunity begins, because when you learn Python, you're not just learning a language. You are entering a world full of possibilities where your skills can grow in multiple directions, depending on what you choose to explore. Now let's bring the focus back to platforms that started small, but grew into something massive, because this is where Python truly proves its strength in real-world development. Starting again with Reddit, a platform built for communities, discussions, and endless user interaction. And what makes Reddit interesting is that it was originally written in Python, which allowed its developers to move fast, test ideas quickly, and handle growing traffic without needing overly complex systems in the beginning. And this is one of Python's biggest advantages. It lets you start simple and then scale step by step as your platform grows. Pinterest is another strong example, a platform filled with images, ideas, and creativity, where Python is used heavily in the backend to manage data, handle user requests, and process recommendations. Because when millions of users are saving and exploring content every second, you need a system that is both fast and flexible, and Python provides exactly that balance. Dropbox takes things even further by using Python as a core part of its system, especially in file synchronization, which is not a simple task when millions of users are uploading, downloading, and updating files at the same time, and Python helps manage all of this in a smooth and reliable way, showing that it can handle serious technical challenges without breaking. Now, to understand how these platforms are built, we need to talk about frameworks, because frameworks are like ready-made structures that make development faster and more organized. And in the Python world, two names stand out the most: Django and Flask. Django is known as a full-stack framework, which means it gives you almost everything you need to build a complete web application, from handling user accounts to managing databases and security. And this is why companies like Instagram trusted Django in their early growth phase, because it allowed them to build quickly without worrying about low-level details. On the other hand, Flask is a lightweight framework, which means it gives you more control and flexibility, allowing developers to build custom solutions based on their needs. And this is perfect for smaller projects or systems where you want to design everything your own way, and many startups prefer Flask because it is simple, clean, and easy to expand. Along with these frameworks, Python also offers powerful libraries that make development even easier. For example, SQL Alchemy for working with databases, Requests for handling web communication, and Celery for managing background tasks like sending emails or processing data. And when you combine these tools together, you get a complete environment where you can build anything from a small website to a large-scale platform. What is important to understand here is that these platforms did not start as giants. They started as ideas, and Python helped turn those ideas into working products quickly and then supported them as they grew bigger and more complex over time. This is exactly why Python is loved by developers, because it does not slow you down. Instead, it helps you move faster, test more ideas, and build real solutions that people can use. So if you're someone who wants to create websites, build apps, or even launch your own platform one day, Python gives you everything you need to start, grow, and scale, and the same tools used by Reddit, Pinterest, and Dropbox are available to you right now, which means the only real difference is how you use them. Python is not just about web development. It goes far beyond that into automation, desktop applications, and even game development, making it one of the most versatile languages you can learn today. Now let's move into a side of Python that many beginners completely ignore at first, but later realize is one of its most powerful advantages: automation, desktop applications, and even game development, because Python is not just about websites and big tech platforms. It is also about saving time, building useful tools, and creating interactive experiences. Start with automation. Imagine doing the same boring task again and again, like renaming hundreds of files, sending emails, collecting data from websites, or filling out forms. Now imagine a simple Python script doing all of that for you in seconds. This is exactly why companies and individuals love Python, because with libraries like Selenium, you can automate web browsers, log into websites, click buttons, extract data, and perform tasks just like a human would, but faster and without mistakes. And tools like Beautiful Soup help you scrape and organize data from web pages, turning the internet into a source of useful information that you can control. Then comes desktop applications, where Python allows you to build real software that runs on your computer, and this is done using libraries like Tintr and PyQt, which help you create windows, buttons, forms, and full user interfaces, meaning you can build your own tools like calculators, note-taking apps, file managers, or even business software. And the best part is you do not need to learn complex systems to get started. Python keeps things simple and manageable. Now step into the world of gaming, where Python again shows its flexibility. Libraries like Pygame allow you to build 2D games, handle graphics, control characters, and create interactive gameplay. And while Python may not be the first choice for high-end graphics-heavy games, it is perfect for learning game development, building prototypes, and even creating fun projects that could turn into something bigger over time. And some well-known games like Civilization 4 use Python for game logic, proving that it can play a role even in large projects. Another important area is scripting and tool development, where Python is used inside powerful software like Blender, allowing artists and developers to automate tasks, create custom tools, and improve workflows in 3D design and animation, showing that Python is not limited to developers only. It is also valuable for creatives. What makes all of this even more interesting is how these tools connect back to real-world usage. Companies use automation to save time and reduce manual work. Developers build desktop tools to solve specific problems, and creators use Python to enhance their projects. All of this adds up to one simple idea: Python increases productivity in almost every field. And when you combine this with what we already discussed, web development, data science, and AI, you start to see the full picture. Python is not just one skill. It is a complete toolkit that adapts to whatever you want to do, whether it is building a platform, automating your work, or creating something fun and interactive. So if you ever feel like learning Python is limited to just writing code, think again, because it is actually about building solutions, saving time, and creating opportunities that can grow into real projects or even careers. Let's move forward to explore how Python is used in science, research, and real-world problem solving at the highest level, where organizations like NASA and CERN depend on it for critical work, taking Python from simple scripts to something that helps explore space and understand the universe. Now let's step into a world where precision matters more than anything, where even a small mistake can cost millions, and in some cases can risk entire missions. This is the world of science, research, and advanced problem solving. And even here, Python stands strong as a trusted tool used by some of the most respected organizations on the planet. Start with NASA, an organization that deals with space exploration, satellite systems, and complex scientific calculations. And Python plays an important role in handling data, running simulations, and automating processes, because when you're working with massive datasets coming from space missions, you need a language that is reliable, flexible, and easy to work with. And Python delivers exactly that through powerful libraries designed for scientific computing. Then comes CERN, the European organization known for groundbreaking physics research, including the discovery of fundamental particles, and Python is widely used there for data analysis, system control, and experiment management, helping scientists process huge amounts of information generated by particle collisions and making sense of data that would otherwise be impossible to handle manually. Now move into the broader field of data science, where Python has become the #1 choice for analysts, researchers, and engineers, because it provides a complete ecosystem of libraries that work together smoothly. Libraries like NumPy allow fast numerical calculations. Pandas makes it easy to clean and analyze data, and Matplotlib helps visualize that data in a clear and meaningful way, turning raw numbers into insights that can guide decisions. Platforms like Jupyter Notebook have made this process even more powerful by allowing users to write code, test ideas, and see results all in one place, creating an interactive environment that is perfect for learning, experimenting, and sharing knowledge. Another important platform is Anaconda, which simplifies the process of managing Python environments and installing libraries, especially for data science and machine learning projects, making it easier for beginners to get started without dealing with complex setups. What makes Python so effective in this space is not just the tools, but how they connect with each other, creating a workflow where data can be collected, processed, analyzed, and visualized in a smooth and efficient way. And this is why industries like finance, healthcare, and research depend on Python to solve real-world problems. For example, in finance, Python is used to analyze market trends and manage risk. In healthcare, it helps in processing medical data and supporting research. And in engineering, it is used for simulations and system modeling. All of this shows how Python moves beyond simple coding and becomes a tool for innovation and discovery. When you look at NASA, CERN, and the entire data science ecosystem, one thing becomes very clear. Python is not just helping build apps or websites. It is helping humans understand complex systems, make better decisions, and even explore beyond our planet. This level of impact is what makes Python truly special, because it is not limited by industry. It adapts to wherever it is needed, whether it is solving business problems or answering scientific questions. And as you continue learning Python, you're not just gaining a technical skill, you're gaining access to a world where your work can have real meaning and real impact, whether it is building something useful, solving a problem, or contributing to something bigger than yourself. Now it is time to connect everything you have seen so far, from YouTube and Instagram to NASA and artificial intelligence, from automation scripts to full-scale platforms. Because when you put all these pieces together, one clear picture appears. Python is not just a programming language. It is a complete ecosystem that keeps growing stronger every single day. And one of the biggest reasons behind this growth is its community. Millions of developers around the world contributing ideas, building libraries, improving frameworks, and helping each other solve problems. Which means whenever you face a challenge, there is a high chance someone has already solved it and shared the solution, making your learning journey faster and smoother. This strong community support is one of Python's hidden powers. Because you are never learning alone, you're becoming part of a global network that is constantly building, improving, and innovating. Now think about career opportunities, because this is where things become very real. Companies today are not just looking for degrees, they're looking for skills, and Python is one of the most in-demand skills across multiple industries. Whether it is web development using Django and Flask, data science using Pandas and NumPy, machine learning using TensorFlow and PyTorch, or automation using tools like Selenium, Python opens doors in every direction, giving you the freedom to choose your path based on your interest. And this flexibility is what makes it different from many other languages. You're not limited to one field. You can start with one area and later move into another without starting from zero, because the core language remains the same while the applications keep expanding. Another important factor is the future, because technology is moving fast, artificial intelligence is growing, data is becoming more important, and automation is becoming part of everyday work. And in all these areas, Python is already leading, which means learning it today is not just useful for now, it is an investment for the future, a skill that will stay relevant as new technologies continue to develop. Even startups and small teams prefer Python because it allows them to build products quickly, test ideas, and launch faster without heavy resources. And this creates more opportunities for developers who know Python because they can work in different environments, from large companies to small innovative teams. Now think about your own journey, where you are right now and where you want to go, because the difference between those 2 points is often just one decision, the decision to start learning something valuable and stay consistent with it. And Python makes that decision easier because it removes unnecessary complexity and lets you focus on building real skills. All the platforms, tools, and organizations we discussed are proof that Python works, not just in theory, but in real-world situations where performance, scale, and reliability matter the most. And this should give you confidence that the time you invest in learning Python is time well spent. Now, this is the moment where everything becomes personal, because until now you have seen what Python can do for companies, platforms, and industries. But the real question is what it can do for you. And the honest answer is simple. It can change your direction if you decide to take it seriously. Think about all the examples we covered: YouTube handling billions of videos, Instagram scaling to millions of users, Netflix understanding preferences, NASA processing space data, and developers automating daily work. All of this is built on the same foundation. And that foundation is something you can start learning today without waiting for permission or the perfect time. The difference between someone who benefits from Python and someone who only hears about it is not talent. It is action, consistent small steps taken every day. So instead of overthinking, focus on a simple roadmap that actually works. Start with the basics, understand how Python syntax works, variables, loops, and functions. Do not rush this stage because it builds your foundation. Then move to small projects like a calculator, a simple automation script, or a basic website using Flask, because projects turn knowledge into real skill, and this is where most people start to feel confident. After that, choose a direction based on your interest. If you like websites, go deeper into Django. If you enjoy data, go into Pandas and visualization. If you're curious about AI, explore TensorFlow or PyTorch. And if you want to save time in daily tasks, learn automation tools like Selenium. The key is not to learn everything at once, but to move step by step with clarity. One important thing to understand is that progress in Python is not about being perfect. It is about being consistent. Even 1 hour a day can create strong results over time. And this is exactly how developers build real skills, not in one day, but through regular practice. You will face moments where things feel confusing or slow, but that is part of the process. Every developer you look up to has gone through the same phase, and what made the difference is that they did not stop. Also remember that the tools you are learning are the same ones used in real companies, which means every small project you build is a step closer to real opportunities, whether it's freelancing, getting a job, or building your own platform. Now imagine a few months from now, instead of watching others create projects, you're building your own, solving problems, and understanding how systems work. That shift is powerful, and it starts with a simple decision to begin. Python gives you that chance, a clear path, a supportive community, and endless possibilities across industries. And all it asks from you is focus and consistency. If you look at everything you have heard so far, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. Python is already inside the systems that shape your daily life, from the videos you watch on YouTube to the posts you scroll on Instagram, from the recommendations on Netflix to the massive data. Systems used by NASA and CERN, it is already working silently in the background, powering decisions, automation, intelligence, and scale. And the surprising part is that the same tool is not locked away for experts only. It is openly available for anyone willing to learn it. This is where your story can begin differently. Because while most people stay consumers of technology, Python gives you the chance to become a creator of it, someone who builds tools, solves problems, and understands how systems actually work behind the screen. There's a reason why companies proudly say they use Python, not because it is trendy, but because it works in real environments where failure is not an option. And that is why developers trust it for everything from small scripts to global platforms serving millions of users at the same time. Now think about what this means for you personally. Learning Python is not about memorizing syntax or copying code. It is about developing a way of thinking, learning how to break problems into small steps, and building solutions that actually work. And once that mindset develops, it stays with you far beyond coding itself. The real advantage of Python is that it does not limit your direction. You can move into web development with Django or Flask, explore automation with Selenium, dive into data science with Pandas and NumPy, or step into artificial intelligence with TensorFlow and PyTorch. And all of these paths are connected by the same core skill. This flexibility is exactly why Python continues to grow every year, because it adapts to new technologies instead of becoming outdated. And that makes it one of the safest and smartest skills to invest your time in. But beyond all the technical details, there is something even more important: confidence. Because when you build your first project, even something small, you realize that you are not just learning theory, you are creating something real, and that feeling changes everything. It turns confusion into clarity and hesitation into progress. So if you are standing at the point of decision right now, wondering whether to start or not, understand this clearly. There is no perfect moment waiting in the future. The moment is always now, and every expert you admire once started exactly where you are today. The only difference is they kept going. So take that first step, install Python, write your first line of code, build something small, break it, fix it, learn from it, and repeat the process, because that is how real growth happens. And as you continue this journey, you will slowly realize something powerful. You are not just learning Python. You're building a skill that can shape your career, your opportunities, and your future direction. So wear it with pride when you say it. I'm a Python user, because that means you are someone who is learning the language behind modern technology, someone who is not afraid to build, explore, and grow in a world driven by code. And the best part is, this journey is just beginning, and everything you do from this point forward can take you closer to something bigger than you imagined, as long as you start today and keep moving forward. Python is not just a programming language. It is a practical skill that quietly powers the platforms you use every day and the systems shaping the future. From social media and streaming platforms to artificial intelligence, automation, and scientific research, Python is already everywhere, solving real problems at scale. The real takeaway is simple. You don't need to master everything at once. You just need to start, stay consistent, and build small projects that turn knowledge into ability. Every expert once began with confusion, but progress came from practice, not perfection. If you learn Python step by step and apply it consistently, it can move from just a skill to a real opportunity in your career, your income, and your independence.